And they're in Amsterdam, is one of their major data center locations. And in the Netherlands, I mean, there's just I believe it's a moratorium. There are no more data centers that can be built, none. So therefore, you need to upgrade your capacity. You need more space. What are you going to do? And in this case, dedicated hardware and just more efficient solutions are the only way, to expand your data center capacity. And I think those are things that sometimes we're not in the industry always directly aware of, but we should be, and it's important to
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In fact,
it's definitely on the
yeah,
sustainability side. I think I see it all over in RFPs that sustainability and
yep.
eco-friendly is way more important these days.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
yeah.
A lot of our clients are asking for the same thing, like how do we
Mm,
be more environmentally friendly? How does this impact
yeah.
all those things that matter to
Yeah.
them and matter to their customers? Yeah.
That's
Mm.
that's interesting, Joe, because you're dealing primarily, I believe, with US based, studios, kind of Hollywood.
Yep.
And are they operating their own infrastructure, or are they going into colos, or are they using clouds, or what does the architecture look like for them?
I find most of them are in the cloud right now. There was a big surge, probably 10, 15 years ago or somewhere around there where cloud was a big deal because it scaled really well. It was easy to stand things up, and we all know the advantages of cloud. And I think they all want to stay in the cloud and they want to keep those advantages. I think Will, said, hey, you don't want to buy an encoder that's going to, use for 3 hours. You might as well rent somebody's. And the cloud will be there forever. But a lot of them, as they get more efficient and try to reach, again, more customers and sort of deploy their infrastructure in more places, are finding that they want to bring it on-prem. And a lot of them have minimal infrastructure that they're sort of expanding. We get a lot of requests for how do we sort of repatriate some of this into our data centers, into our stuff. And one of the reasons we can do that is because things are just getting more efficient, right?
Yeah.
It's cheaper, it's easier. You don't have to buy really, really expensive hardware to do transcoding, right? You can buy a fairly cheap box and put a VPU in it, and it doesn't cost you that much. And it does a lot of what they're doing now. And unless you're dealing with something that's really high demand and really large volume, there isn't a whole lot of reason to do that in the cloud. You can transcode your VOD catalog pretty easily on a couple of PCs in your data center. And when they start realizing that, they start asking questions about how do we sort of make that happen. And then the cloud is always their backup because they all think they have a volume and they understand their volumes, but then some big rush will come in. And so the cloud will always be there. I don't think anyone thinks the cloud's going away, but we're getting a lot of questions again about efficiency and how do we make this work for us in a way that sort of gets us to where we need to be as far as cost. Yeah, it's one of our biggest questions for sure.
Yeah.